and may not be suitable for your snotty-nosed little brat who probably cusses like a sailor behind your back anyway. Parental discretion is advised.
Daddy, I'm coming to see you at visiting hours next week. Mama ain't been doing too well, I'll tell you more when we speak. And Billy's loving high school. He's out there blocking for JB. I'm sure he's gonna come around by the time you give a least. It's Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for the boys, they know it's prison.
It's time to holler down the pipe chase and rattle them bars, because we're going to do a prison show for you right here at beautiful old, historic old, exciting new KPFT Houston, from the heart of Montrose, where we all hope tomorrow will be a better day.
Dreams, I can see your freedom, I will hold you once more. To men with no visitors, no money on the books. Remember, David's always gonna be here. You're never so alone. This thing's my love. It's Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know. It's prison radio. Prison radio.
And welcome to the prison show. It's Friday night, September the 15th. And I know it's been a long week for a lot of men and women out there in TDC land. We've got about, I think, 46 units that are up and running from the lockdown, shakedown. I think I counted that earlier today at noon. Why are y'all looking at me? No reason? They're both poking their head out from above the thing like, hey.
We're trying to figure out why you sound so low.
Because I'm very petite. Okay. Javier just spit out
I was
his...
making sure you were talking into the mic,
I
not across
am.
the mic, all that stuff. I didn't want to pull a Dewey if you were doing everything right, and he wouldn't.
Well, thank y'all. I am doing everything correct. Side eye. I got the side eye. Okay, so I spoke to a few of my friends at a few units, not just one. So I wanted to get some information out. Some of y'all may not know, but I'm sure some of y'all definitely know. They cannot make you put your legal work in that red box. They cannot make you do that. Right, David?
Yeah, actually, they have a right to get a separate box, so they can't make them put it in that regular thing. They can actually create a lawsuit.
Yeah, several people at several units. I spoke to one when I was driving down here at the Stevenson unit, and several of the men there lost their legal work, which, you know, like my friend was saying, what are you going to do? They can't prove anything. So
you get enough people saying the same thing and you make them confiscate it, then they'll have to get it back. If you got a lot of people saying they're doing the same thing, I mean, it's obviously it's true. That's the same thing like if they skip commissary and 50 people in the dorm write a grievance, I mean, it tends to be believable.
Right. And like one of my friends that just got out of the Polensky unit, mass grieve it. If enough people grieve it, tends to work better. So anyway, I wanted to get that out and wanted to say to Willie Torres at the Jester 4 unit?
Yeah, Wayne Scott.
Wayne Scott unit, sorry. And a big hello to you. We got your letter, and I'm moving. A big hello to Troy Glover at the Memorial unit. We got your mail. So, hey guys, now we're going to scoot on over. We got a great show lined up. We've got Sharon, McKinney, and Savannah Eldridge from TIFA, Texas Incarcerated Families Association. We have Chivas, Watson, Ended Mass Incarceration Houston and Working Group 512. We have Brittany, Robertson, Texas Prison Reform. And, of course, we have me and Linda, Texas Death Row Angels tonight. We are back. We heard you. We are back. All right. Line 1, we have Sharon. Hey, Sharon, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing great. Doing great. So what you got for us tonight?
Whew. Well, it's just been a week, like you said, with the lockdown. And, you know, we've been nonstop trying to fight all the concerns or make the officials aware of the concerns. And I heard what you said about the legal mail, and I was going to add this to it. Some of the units are doing it, searching different. Some of the units are making them leave all their things in their cells, and then they're taking them out and putting them in the gym and just their boxers and their shower shoes. So all their stuff is in their cells, except that you can't watch them with your legal mail. And we had a client who found some of his legal mail a couple cells down. So,
oh, wow.
You know, yeah. So it's real disturbing about the whole legal mail issue, and we have brought that to their attention, and it seems to have gotten better with the legal mail. But, you know, I wouldn't want them searching my cell if I wasn't standing right there.
No,
but,
I wouldn't either.
You know, yeah, because just I wouldn't. We've been there before. We know how that goes, but some of the units are doing it that way, and then the others are, you know, they're making them haul all their stuff, put them in a little box, and, you know, it's just a big mess. So we're hearing that the food, I hate to even use the word, is a little bit better, but I'm hearing that it's getting a little bit better.
Depends on the unit.
I think that is it too. I heard from quite a few units, and we also put a form out on our website for, you know, our families to report back what's going on, and it's just been a mess. So I'm really ready for all this to be over with and everybody just get back to a routine.
Right. A lot of people are craving routine right now.
They're craving routine, and, you know, nobody really knows what's going on or when it's going to end. And, you know, it's a lot of stress in there right now. And when you're hungry and you're stressed out and you're hot, it's not good for morale or anything. So, you know, I want to lift everybody's spirits up and just tell everybody that can hear just to hang in there. It will end. And just get on your little tablet. If you can watch a movie, but just try to keep your spirits up and don't get down in the dumps any more than what you already are. So that's been our week. Other than that, this is, you know, we're wrapping up our year. We have a full end of the year. We're going to be at the Lanai unit on the 29th to do a parole workshop there, and we're going to stay over and join them on the Rock the Rec Yard event that they're having on the Saturday and Sunday. So super excited about getting back into the units and doing more things at the unit. I went to the Ramsey Veterans meeting on September 2nd, and it was good to be back at Ramsey again and see all those guys, a great group of guys. We are kicking off our advocacy campaign for 2025, and we will start that training up at the beginning of the year. And we'll be sending stuff for those on the inside to learn how to advocate for themselves on the inside also. So that's our big campaign gearing up for the next session, because it will be here before we know it.
So explain a little bit more about the advocacy campaign. It's for the session in 2025?
Yeah, right. So, we never stop doing our little work of talking to our legislators and figuring out what bills TIFA's going to present, because we're small staff, so we can't take on a whole lot on our own. We support a lot, but we can't carry a whole lot on our own. So, we do the earned time credit and the independent oversight. We have a meeting with Representative Jarvis on the independent oversight. I do not think he will carry it, but we are hopeful that we'll get information from him, during our meeting about, moving forward. And we all know Representative Sherman is running for Congress, so we won't have him at next session, which is really too bad for us, because he was a huge prison reform fighter.
Yes, he was. Yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
So our advocacy campaign is we're just going to train our family members. We are going to have a storyteller come in. We'll hold our event in Austin, but we'll also hold it hybrid for those who can't come to Austin. But they're called Lighthouse. They have an office in Denver, and they're going to come down here and train whoever wants to be trained on storytelling. So super excited about that. And then we're going.
So when you say storytelling, you mean like just telling what their story of
how to get up and testify, how to get up and tell your story to testify in 3 minutes. So everything's about a story. And I don't know, I struggle telling my story. I hear a lot of people, they're just, I was like, man, that just rolls out of your mouth.
Yeah, but to keep it at 3 minutes.
My story.
To keep it at 3 minutes takes a lot of practice.
Well, or if you're like David, they just keep punching the buzzer, because, he won't quit. He just keeps on talking.
Yeah, that's not true.
You the proper way. Yeah, that's true. It is true.
No, in Anthony Graves' class, we had to do it in 3 minutes, and it took a lot to get it down to 3 minutes. It's called an elevator speech.
I know.
It's called a what?
Right?
An elevator speech.
Elevator speech. Yeah.
I'd love to push the button.
Get on the elevator and start talking. But it's important for people to be able to get up there, testify, say what they need to say, hit all the important parts, and be heard in 3 minutes. So that's what this organization does. They work with nonprofits and their members, and they train them to do that. So I'm excited about that. They promise I'll leave out of there being able to tell my story, because my story's really long.
I was fixing to say, even since I've known you, it's pretty long. So, and I know your story is before I met you. So,
oh yeah,
yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
and I think that part of it would be very frustrating when you have some of these members that seem distracted and that are not listening to you. That would be very frustrating for me, because I would want to be like, hello.
Listen to me. Hey, I have the mic.
Yeah, that would be me.
Yes. So I struggle with that a whole lot. If if there's cross-talking or anything like that, I get very distracted and lose my place. So hopefully, y'all, I'm going to really rock this next session and just say whatever's on my mind.
And Tifa,
But really,
what will be the number one thing that Tifa's going for this next session?
we are going to continue with earned time credit. We are having a lot of interim conversations on how that can be different. And we've gotten a lot of people on the inside who've given us their ideas on how it can be different. It's just our issue out here is educating the public and changing that narrative that people with 3G and aggravated sentences, they're not everybody's a bad person, and everybody deserves another chance. So we have to change the way that we're presenting the bill and presenting the information to the House. I mean, with Sherman, we were always going to get it filed in the House, but we've never gotten it out of the House. So something needs to change. It's been 4 years, and we've got to do something different. So we're talking to different representatives on exactly what that looks like, and we'll follow up with Sherman's office also for, move forward strategy and what he thought could have been different. But, at the end of the day, it's politics and the governor. And until we get that voters block and everybody starts voting these people who aren't for the criminal justice reform, it's just, we're stuck.
Absolutely.
Because they were horrible. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that hopefully, when people realize that when they have loved ones on the inside and nothing's being done for them, like the AC, like earned time credit, like, there's so many issues that are not being done for them. Maybe
Right.
they can get their people, their family, their friends out to vote.
Yeah.
And get the
So-
right people in that care.
Yeah. And, I think a lot of families don't know that that's what needs to be done. And I think that we have to do better educating those on the inside to even educate those on their families on the outside, that you have to do your part too, because 2 TIFA people, we can't do it all. And it's a chore.
Girl, count me in, because I'm right with you. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
now that I've gotten my
you come.
surgeries over, I am there.
Yes, we want you there. We want your voice. I think it's important.
Yeah.
We'll even let old David come.
Yeah, that's pushing it. I don't know.
We'll talk about it.
Sometimes he's, earlier he came in spilling Coke everywhere. I'm sorry, Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper.
Oh, goodness. What a child.
I know, it's like,
Poor David. We just beat him up.
it's so much fun. I gotta do it. I gotta
I
do
know.
it. I gotta do it.
I know. Me too. But I don't know where my Savannah is. I reminded her to come on, but I know that she was going to just talk about, everybody keeping their spirits up also, and try not to get depressed and frustrated, and, just hang in there. Hopefully another week, the bigger units will be up and everything back to
normal, whatever normal is. Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully they're coming up. We're keeping our fingers crossed. Just, if everyone's listening, let Sharon know, let Savannah know about food, water, let your people know so they can let us know what your situation is. And remember, legal work stays. I'm still in awe that, some units are telling them they have to go in the red box. I'm still in.
No, yeah, it does not. and they need to do better at training their people who are ever searching, whether it's the guards. I know the OIG brought in a team of searchers too, but legal mail, they can't go through that, and they're going through it.
Yeah. Well, Sharon, we got to go, but we thank you. And and I'm sure everyone's got you on their email, but do we have an address they can reach you at?
We do. Our address is Post Office Box 300 220 Austin, and the zip code is 78703.
All right. Thank you, Miss Sharon. And I will see y'all online, I'm sure. And tell Miss Savannah we missed her.
I sure will. Y'all have a great night.
You too. Have a good one. All right. Now, without further delay, we have, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, as he giggles, Chivas. All right, and he is in the house. He is in the house.
In the house, back in the building, back like I never left. Well, hello to all of our listeners. I'm happy to be back among such esteemed company. I am your humble mass incarceration reporter, Chivas Watson. I'm wondering how many other Houston police officers are drinking and driving tonight, further bringing their authoritative days to a close. I wonder, however, will ex-officer Marquez get the same element of fairness that Attorney General Ken Paxton has been granted in his impeachment trial, or Ms. Dani? Will this officer and any other public servants be held to the same court rules as the general public, the same standard of reasonable doubt? I've been from Abilene to Galveston lately, chasing justice. And guess what I learned for our appellate and pretrial listeners? There's a matrix of 5 pretrial motions that should be filed in every criminal case in Texas, especially in Harris County. And I communicated the same just yesterday to Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez. Those motions are a motion to suppress evidence, a motion to compel. You might need to compel the police officer or compel the prosecutor or compel the court to make a decision because of this, that, and the third. The motion to preclude. You may need to preclude evidence. You may need to preclude a police officer from saying this or saying that. You got the motion in limine. And the motion in limine is rarely used. And this is to prevent certain conduct, certain outcomes, certain behaviors in the courtroom. And then you got the motion to dismiss. And the workaround, the key workaround is that if you can justify one of those motions, it usually justifies the motion to dismiss. The denial of these motions, to me, in my legal acumen, justifies the ineffective assistance of counsel claim. And we've got that more than ever. We've got that more than ever for our appellate and pretrial listeners. You should ask your court-appointed attorney, what's his strategy? What's his intention on filing a motion to suppress evidence? And don't just think that's blood test, DUI results. It's really not. Don't think that you can't compel your accuser to come to court, and if they're lying, prove it in court. Prove it in court. You don't have to prove it on Facebook. It's time that we in the community get more involved, so that we not only clean up the misconceptions about the prisons, but also the misconceptions about the court. It's so ever present here in Harris County, but I found that it's in Taylor County, out there in Abilene. It's in Dallas County. It's in Travis County. It's in Bexar County. It's in McLennan County.
It's in Texas.
It's all throughout Texas. And so what can we make of these recent TDCJ lockdowns? You know, well, that some units are back to normal operation. I don't want to say normal, but back to looser restrictions, and others are simply not. Others are simply not. And I thought I heard the spirit of Richard Nixon in TDCJ officials aiming to be champions in the war on drugs. But for the low numbers they just reported in finding this week, Miss Dani, then more than ever the war for drugs is active, where the abuse of more than drugs in TDCJ units are ever present. With new deaths amongst inmates recently, and more moms speaking up about their loved one who eat once a day or can't get water. And that's why we've been staying busy. My organization, Working Group 512, we've been, here and fro and to and fro, and we're doing some really interesting things right now with our brothers and our sisters that have been leaving prison. We understand the traumatic experience. And so I speak to you brothers doing hard time, you sisters doing hard time. Obviously, I always have to fill in with some kind of dialogue on reentry, as you prepare for a release or you prepare for a parole hearing, and you want to put your best foot forward. I want you to lean into your leadership. It takes a leader to do hard time. It takes a leader to do hard time. David was talking about Anthony Graves a few minutes ago. I was getting off of 59, and it took leadership for Anthony Graves to come back and then want to train others on how to advocate effectively. And so that's why we've been staying busy. We've been distributing tablets and phones, but also laptops to community members, justice involved or not. We've been providing transit passes. Just last Thursday in Austin, Texas, we drove in from Houston in 90 minutes. Provided a little over $1,500 in tablets, a little over $700 in phones, and around $6,000 in bus passes in 90 minutes. And so we've been kicking this project off, this diversion and development project throughout the state, with our most in need, with our directly impacted men and women. We've been thinking about a restorative outcome for so many for so long. As I've been participating in justice reform, and it's got to take some simple steps, and it's got to take.
Optimum Internet gives you speeds up to 1 gig.
Wow. It's got to take people that care, and so we're traveling around the state. And we want to meet you. We want to meet moms. We want to meet fathers. We want to meet families that want to connect their loved one inside or their loved one on the outside to better resources or better ideas to prepare. If you're finding it hard to communicate with your loved one, feel free to give us a call at 512-953-3980 or
wait, repeat that.
If you're finding it difficult to communicate with your loved one inside, maybe it's been 5 years, maybe it's been 5 months. We'd love to help. You can reach us at our Austin number, 512-953-3980, but also in Houston, 832-598-1347. We want to see if we can build community around that disconnect. If you talk to your loved one all the time, but you're really unprepared for him or her to return, we'd like to help with that. We've been providing documents around the state as well, birth certificates, setting people up in their jurisdictions for DPS appointments as well. Just recently, yours truly restored his driving rights and got a driver's license for the first time in a decade. And guess what? I did it knowing that we don't need one on the public highways. And I know some people have recently said, Chivas is a liar. That's so untrue. But just recently, I spoke to, the Texas Organizing Project Houston chapter and their community of over, they packed the house, hundreds of people. And I did a full presentation on what Shapiro versus Thompson in 1969, ruled and what People versus Horton in 1971, all ruling that we had a free and an unencumbered right to travel. Now, if you're a carrier, if you're a commercial driver, and I've said this in the past, you do need your proper credentials. And if we looked at some of the outcomes of the state legislature recently, it's quite interesting. of that compromise on our right to travel. And I am available to speak about that personally. I don't want to get too deep on air. We want to lift up the brothers and the sisters that are inside. We want to appreciate all of the family members, all of the wives, all of the sons and the daughters who stand up and speak out in advocacy. We've got some stars in some of our moms who have lost their sons, and that's reflective of just how true the work is. Dani, David, I appreciate the opportunity. I'm going to stick around for shout outs.
Awesome.
Again, in mass incarceration, it is a long tail. But we see where it's a short tail for few.
Yes. Thank you. And now we have Brittany. Hi, Brittany.
Hey.
My favorite Brittany. How you doing?
Oh, I am doing good. I'm doing good. I was worried I was going to lose my voice before the show because I'm dealing with a head cold, but we're good.
Well, you sound great. What you got for us tonight?
So, I know I'd reached out to you a little bit prior to the show last week because I had my own experience when somebody reached out to me and told me one of my mailing list members was man down and that he had been down for about an hour and medical wasn't coming to assist him. So, of course, I got on the horn, alerted other advocates, let them know, and then got on the phone with the unit and receiving the runaround from the unit. When you report to somebody, even on a Sunday, that there's somebody within their unit that is man down, and they tell me they're going to have to check on them next time they do count. Or that, I need somebody from medical to go get them. They said, well, there's nobody in medical. I said, the chaplain. They said, there's no chaplains. And just hitting that brick wall repeatedly on the phone. It took a 45-minute phone call, repeated phone calls and being hung up on. But we were finally able to get him some assistance. But at the end of that phone call and at the end of that night, I didn't know if he was still alive. And that was kind of a glimpse into what some of these family members are dealing with. So, part of me being here is to reiterate the emergency call app to get not only the team members in the unit, but those around them to start, building that relationship with their warden or with a staff member on that unit who can help them push for this. If it's the people in medical, let them know we're trying to save lives. We know that it falls back on you when you can't respond right because it took 4 officers to tell you that we have an emergency. But it was just a small glimpse into what these family members deal with. And then, of course, that leads me to, there's 45 other members on my team. And in their wing, there's 80 other people in solitary. So it reminded me of the fragility of life, but it also showed me the level of empowerment that some of the team members have within their unit. When there's an emergency, the men bang for each other, and they don't bother to check who it is that needs help. They just know they need help. And, it leads me to think the mass grievances, as you said earlier, these are essential, and I don't think people understand the power that they do hold with these. There's audits that are done yearly on the number of grievances, on what they were for, on the satisfaction response rate. This is everything that is audited, and a lot of people don't know that if you use the system correctly and in the correct amount of numbers, you do get results back, but you also have to be patient. And, there's so much working against an incarcerated individual when you are in there and you're trying to self-advocate that, certain levels of the prison code are working against the people on the inside who are trying to do the self-advocating. The stereotype of, if they're talking to this CO, maybe they're snitching. It's part of that code that has perpetuated the treatment and the conditions that you're living in. So understanding that there needs to be a level of communication with your unit staff and that open line to say, listen, I got 50 guys who got the wrong trays. We filed our step ones, but I'm trying to come to you and say, what can we do about this? If the officers are going to retaliate on the mass grievances, understand that we are going to have everybody's family members start flooding the Huntsville phone lines, because it's always about the false promises that the incarcerated hear, but we also have to hold them accountable for those promises. You know, if you write 50 grievances and then you contact your local news company and say, so this is what happens when they try to do it right and it's not successful. Just showing, you know, the administration and everything that how much needs to change and what is exactly going on. So some units are notorious for horrible security levels. So even if the medical wants to treat them, even if they want to go to medical, you know, they get told that they refused their visit and they really didn't. You know, there's numerous people on your wing that are dealing with that. Get with them and let's file. You know, it doesn't have to be such a struggle, and that code needs to quit putting an end to the self-advocacy, because if you guys stay quiet or if you do not communicate with advocates or Huntsville, they're not going to know. And at that board meeting, seeing all those members of the board with tears in their eyes and all these family members finally standing up, it shows me that this, whether Huntsville likes it or not, people are starting to advocate in larger numbers, and the truth is starting to get out more than ever. And, you know, for us to write an emergency call-out proposal, and we still haven't heard back from the Board of Criminal Justice, and right now we're at about a 200 lives that could have been saved because of it. It's one thing to be tough on crime, and it's one thing to be tough on drugs, but please understand why people are self-medicating at an alarming rate. You know, people don't end their lives because they're doing well. People don't continue to abuse drugs because they've had all access to, you know, all the rehabilitative programming. When you refuse to parole somebody, and you've denied them drug treatment during their incarceration, and they get out, they're going to have such a difficult time without having that support or that easing into society that they are going to self-medicate. And everybody knows that one of the biggest causes is the air conditioning. The officers are miserable, the incarcerated are miserable, the advocates aren't sleeping, your family members aren't sleeping. But it's something that needs to be talked about and corrected, and that's going to take a lot of people self-advocating and doing it the right way. The violence, that needs to stop. You're working against yourself, and you're working against everybody who is trying to push this forward in a positive light and to make progress to hold the TDCJ accountable.
You know what, Brittany? Everything you've just said has been... First of all, can you send me the information on that app, and I will go along with y'all and see if I can help in any way. I mean, I don't know if I don't know if I can, but if one more mouth can help, maybe I can. And I got a big one, I can assure you. Linda's over here. Yeah, she sure does.
I mean, one thing that makes them really uncomfortable is send the emergency call-out proposal in the mail. I'll be posting it on the site, and then send a couple death in custody reports. Remind them that these people could have had a better chance before they left. You know, and there's I know of a few at the Estelle unit, but I wasn't aware of the mass grievances technique, if you will, until my friend Don got out of the Polensky unit, and he explained it to me, and it makes perfect sense. If you mass grieve it's a tool. Clearly people are upset, and if you're going to retaliate, like you just said, it's going to affect all these people and their families. So, absolutely. You know what? I've got so much love for you. You are going above and beyond advocacy, and you're an amazing woman. And I will do anything and everything that I can to help. And send me that information. That app sounds it's good for men and women behind bars. It's good for even, like you said, staff too. I mean, we all know that a lot of men and women behind bars would help a staff member if they were down.
So, Brittany, how can people get a hold of you?
So we have internally, all the people on the inside, the P.O. Box, Texas Prison Reform, P.O. Box 671, Kaukauna, Wisconsin, 54130. We have our Facebook page. Even if you Google ENDADSEGTX, just Google that, our Facebook, a whole bunch of news articles, a bunch of stuff will pop up. And then you can find resources there also.
All right. Well, we appreciate you, Brittany. Everyone appreciates you. Everyone loves you. I can't wait to have you back on. And when are you moving to Texas?
Honestly, as soon as possible.
And we will welcome you.
Yeah, right now I'm trying to collect fans and just point them all in everybody's direction to keep the air cool.
Come on, girl. That's a good idea. Well, we thank you so much, Brittany, and I hope you have a great weekend.
Absolutely, you too.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, now it's time for the Death Row Angels. So we're going to start it off. You ready, Miss Linda?
I'm ready.
She's ready. All right, good evening, everyone on Texas Death Row and everyone else listening. So I was right. Right now, according to the TDCJ website, there are 46 units up and running and finished with the lockdown, or so they say. So much has happened in the few short weeks since Linda and I did a segment, and we got some feedback, and we hear you loud and clear. And unfortunately, we have another execution date, the first one of 2024. Podcast Cousins by Blood notified me that Ivan Cantu has been given one on February 28th, 2024. Collin County wasted no time. Y'all, the CCA just denied him on August the 23rd, and they were turning around, trying to give him a date right before Labor Day. But David Rentera is off the execution schedule, which is great.
That's great.
That is great. According to the information, the district attorney said the court issued orders to both the DA's office to withdraw that. So they're waiting on the CCA, and they should make a ruling in a few short weeks for you, David. So, again, I'm going to plug the podcast, Cousins by Blood, for Ivan. Listen to it and understand what is going on in Collin County. I hope everyone's listened to it by now, but there's more shows. Also, I was informed that several men on Texas Death Row have been having issues making phone calls because your voice will not register or for some other odd reason. My friend Joy let me have it. I'm falling down on my job, apparently. So I sent some emails. If you're having issues registering your voice or whatever other reason you can't make phone calls, I personally know about two of you, Robert Robertson and Arturo Aranda. I gave the regional director both of your names along with his boss, Eric Guerrera, and I got an email back from Warden Ivy. So be on the lookout. And Robert, I gave the information to your lovely wife, Manuela. So she said that she would let you know, but now I'm letting you know too. Right now, Texas is still at 4 scheduled executions. So get your phones out. Now is the time to call the governor's office, 512-463-2000 or 512-463-1782. Now we can all start calling the DAs of the counties, Collin County, Dallas County, Randall County, Bowie County. No one voice is too small, like my friend Leroy says at the PAC unit, which just came up today from lockdown. We're trying to all work together. Right, Linda? All of us are working together. As of today, the execution schedule is Jedediah Murphy, October 10th. William Spear, October the 26th. Brent Brewer, November the 9th. Ivan Cantu, February the 28th. Now, as my friend Moy says, here's the news that you can use as a reminder to ourselves and Robert Robertson. You both are still scheduled for conference at the Supreme Court on September 26th, coming out of the CCA. Jaime Cole and Arturo Aranda, you both are scheduled for conference at the Supreme Court on September 26th, coming out of the Fifth Circuit. I keep mentioning the conference at the Supreme Court because it's important. We will announce the results on the October 6th show. Rodney Reed, on September 1st, the state filed their supplemental brief at the Fifth Circuit. Travis Green, on September 5th, the Fifth Circuit denied your request for a rehearing en banc. Brian Sunica, on September 5th, Judge Hendricks denied your motion for extension of time to respond to motion for discovery. Eric Williams, on September the 5th, you filed a motion to stay proceedings, and on September 6th, Judge Godby ordered the state to respond to your motion within 20 days. Ricky Cummings, on September the 5th, Judge Albright denied your motion for a rehearing to the district court. Richard Tabler, on September the 6th, you filed a supplemental letter at the Fifth Circuit referencing the Mendoza case. DeMontrell Miller, on September the 7th, you filed a reply in support of the amended petition for writ of habeas corpus at the district court. Saeed Rabbani, on September the 13th, the CCA remanded you to Harris County for a new punishment proceeding. Demetrius Sims, on September 13th, the CCA denied relief. And Perry Williams, my dear friend, on September 13th, the CCA dismissed your application as an abusive writ without considering the merits of the claims. I will, of course, be there to see you whenever everything comes up. And companies that have already banned the use of their drugs for lethal injections, now they are blocking IV equipment for use during executions. We have the article. It was in, I guess I didn't print that part of it. Doesn't that suck? Okay, well, we have the article, and we can send it to you. I'm sure y'all all know about it by now. But now they're banning the use of their IV equipment, everything. Their, the sticky tape, everything to do with their equipment being used for executions. So, Linda, what you got?
I've got execution list for September from all the back years.
In memorandum.
Yes. I have number 133, James Davis, September the 9th, 1997. Number 157, Delbert Teague, Jr., September the 9th, 1998. 310, Larry Hayes, September 10th, 2003. 516, Willie Trotty, September 10th, 2014. 564, Mark Solis, September 10th, 2019. 26, Joseph Stigvagi, September the 10th, 1987. 187, Willis Barnes, September the 10th, 1999. 280, Tony Walker, September the 10th, 2002. Number 10, Charles Rumbaugh, September the 11th, 1985. 376, Farley Matchett, September the 12th, 2006. 474, Stephen Woods, September the 13th, 2011. 349, Francis Newton, September the 14th, 2005. And number 188, William Davis, September the 14th of 1999.
We keep all of those in our memories.
Yes. Hey, we can't bring them back, but,
Yeah.
you know, we want them to remember them. And then I have a poem by Troy Glover. It's called Angel Wings. I am sending you some angel wings because that is what you need to bring a smile to everyone while doing your good deeds. The halo is to guide your way and fill your path with light. And when the rays touch others' hearts, their lives will be as bright. So don't forget your angel wings next time you go out, so we can have a peace of mind wherever you are about. I think that's about us, Dani.
I think it's about me.
Oh, I think it's about me. I mean, really, I think it's just about me for sure.
And we appreciate all the, Linda and I went to dinner before we came to, as we usually do. But we were talking when sometimes when we get calls, we can't get to the phone. We can't, or we're on a call with someone else and we can't click over, or sometimes I attempt to click over and I don't click over. Sometimes I got one of those new flip phones, and sometimes I don't flip it right. And then,
I had my kitten hang up on one of my calls today.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
The
put her
cats.
paw just down on the phone and disconnected.
It's like, I don't want you talking. And one of the, I think it's Troy Glover. You mentioned that you lost our address. Well, I'm going to send you a message.
So am I, yes.
Yes. And the other, the one that sent you, the funny one, not that you weren't delightful, Troy, but there was one. Now Linda can't. Well, don't rub it on.
Troy Glover was the one that.
No, there was another letter that you got that mentioned from.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Anyway, she was mentioning that I think she's she's losing it. Anyway, she we're going to write to both of you, and because both of you mentioned that you couldn't find our address, so you were forced to write to David.
I think it's Willie Torres.
Yes, Willie Torres.
Willie Torres, yes.
Yes. So we're going to send you both a message on Securus, and you'll get our address, and you'll have our email that way, so you can send it to us lickety-split.
Like 4 or 5 days later is when I get mine.
I know.
Someone sends it,
depending on your security level. Anyway.
Is that what it is? Oh. You mean like my security level, or what are you talking about?
Yes, because you're a dangerous individual, Linda.
I know. I'm sure.
He's in there dancing. Anyway, yes. So there was one other thing that we had talked about that we wanted to say this evening. What was it?
I don't remember.
Do you have anything else that you wanted to say? We only have like 2 minutes. Oh, never mind. One minute. Okay, I got 1 minute. We think Polunsky and a few other units will be coming up in the bigger units will be coming up shortly. So we'll be scheduling our visits, right, Linda?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they canceled all mine, this month.
Yeah, Linda had all of hers canceled.
Yes.
And I guess that's it. That's all we got. I cut it short. I know David Rentera knows that he got his execution date was withdrawn. I know
that's awesome.
Yeah, people were saying that it was stayed, but it was actually withdrawn. Yeah. So that's always good. I know. And let me reiterate one more time. Don't let them put your legal work in the red box. Don't let them do it. Only food. And that's another thing. They're letting y'all buy more food, more money, more food, but then they're not letting you they still have that same box.
Yeah, it's a pain in the rear, because they'll sell you 2 bags worth of commissary and then come to your house and confiscate it because it won't fit in there. Man, it doesn't make any sense.
And then you see them eating your food.
Well, look, I just want to remind everybody real quick before we play our break song that if you call and you get stuck in a loop, it's only because we have 6 lines. That's all we have is 6 lines, and business is good. Right now, all 6 lines are actually full. So what I mean by stuck in a loop is that you call 713-526-5738 and go for option 2, and then it goes right back to answering again and asking you which option you want to choose. So either just keep on answering, choosing line 2, or call back, because business is good tonight. And like I said, all 6 lines are full. In the last 2 weeks, we've done the same thing. And then last week, for whatever reason, one of the lines just kept dropping off. So it's because so many people are stuck in a loop, it don't know which one to answer. So it might be better if you hang up and call right back. But don't give up. Just know that business is good.
Well, the gavel came down and they locked me up. Now the state has got my body and the county just sold my truck. Inside these walls, well, I moan and bleed. It's an awful big mess for just a little weed. Well, I'm not saying I didn't break a law. One little misstep, I took an awful big fall. If I'd have been a rich man, like old Kelly, I might have died on vacation. I never served a day. Well, the gavel came down and they locked me up. Now the state has got my body and the county just sold my truck. Inside these walls, well, I moan and bleed. It's an awful big mess for just a little weed. Facing some time, so we put on a wire, traded his troubles for mine. I should have been suspicious when he had cash to pay. Now my cousin's on probation and I got 700 days. Well, the gavel came down and they locked me up. Now the state has got my body and the county just sold my truck. Inside these walls, well, I moan and bleed. It's an awful big mess for just a little weed. I'm in some awful big trouble for just a little weed. we speak. And Billy's loving high school. He's out there blocking poor JB.
If you're now tuning in, you're listening to KPFT Houston.
Come around by the time you give a least. It's Friday night.
And welcome back. Now we're going to get to some calls, and I think Ms. Linda is going to be doing those. Put your headphones on.
Okay. Yes, we're going to do number 6, Manuela.
Hey, Manuela. Hey,
Nice
Manuela.
to hear you. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hello. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
It's nice to see you. Nice to hear
I'll
you.
give her your phone number. I mean, I got your phone number on my phone.
Hey, tell David to turn off that inside mic.
Your mic.
What is David playing with the electronic?
Yes, he shouldn't be doing that. There you go. Now you can talk, Manuela. Go ahead.
Yes, I go ahead. I tell you again. It's very nice to see you, to hear you. Hi.
Hi.
It's every week. It's my 2 hours for my heart to see you and to hear you and to listen to you. I love you. So I think
love you
my
too.
husband. Thank you for everything. Yes, I see you wave. I'm waving, but you can't see me.
No, I can't. I'm taking you from Robert. You're mine now.
Thank you.
I'm sure Robert's not like, no.
He's laughing now. I know this.
Yeah, he's
He's laughing. So I will make my shout out to my husband, Robert Robertson, on Texas Death Row Polanski Unit. Hi, baby. I want to say I love you and I miss you so very, very much. And I can't wait to see you. Well, I can't wait to see you, and I hope you are well. I know it's a bad time now with this lockdown, without everything, and I know that the most you miss is your visits from our very, very good friends. You know who I mean, and I'm so sorry for this, and I hope and pray that this lockdown will over very soon. My love, I did what you told me about our special friend, and I will let our friends to know. Well, the family is well. Only one is sick at the time. It's Hyla, but I think she will be better soon. And I will keep you updated in everything, my love. And I have daily my chats with our sweet and precious daughter. And she's well at this time, and our son too. And I miss them so very much, like you, my baby. I want you to know that I will always love you. I'm all yours and only yours, and I always and forever will be. My love, I say goodbye now. I will write you tomorrow, and I need you, baby, to survive. You are my life and my love. Love you, baby. Good night, sleep well, baby, and sweet and blessed dreams. Mm-hmm.
Good night, Manuela.
And now a kiss, a good night, and a kiss for my guys.
And for me.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
for you.
Mwah.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Bye. Thank you.
Good night. Okay, Annalisa.
Hello everyone, it's Annalisa. I hope you are all well. Hi Isidro, hope you are well. I know you are super busy. I'm glad you're receiving my emails and that our letters slowly are arriving too. And I hope we can make calls one day soon. I'm fine. As you know, I'm very busy with all the changes at work. And I often think of my holiday to the US and my visit to you. And how good it was. We will meet again. I send you my warmest wishes and un grande abbraccio. Take care and take care everyone. Bye.
And now we have Arlene on number 1.
Hello.
Hi, you're on the air.
Hi. Hi. I was just calling to give a shout out to Marco Guzman at Valencia Unit. I know I said I wasn't going to be able to call tonight, but I hope you're listening. I just wanted to wish you an early happy birthday. I know it's not until next week, but I still wanted to tell you that. I'm glad you were able to get the gift I ordered you today. It was nice to hear you open it while we're on the phone together. I'm glad you liked it. I know we had a good day today on the phone. I really enjoyed talking to you every day. I want you to know that I'm also excited about visiting with you soon, and hopefully we'll get an answer sometime this coming week. I hope you have a good night, sweet dreams. I love you, and happy birthday again. I'm going to be going to bed soon because I have to be up for work really early tomorrow, but I'll be waiting for your call. I love you, I miss you, and have a good night.
Is that all you have to say?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
And now we have Ashley on number 2.
Hi, good evening. How are y'all?
We're doing
great.
good.
Awesome. I just wanted to give a shout out to my dad, Norman, at the Estelle unit. It was so good to hear his voice. Hopefully you can hear my voice tonight. I love you. I miss you. Just keep praying. I'm praying for you. You got so many people out here praying for you. I love you, and I hope you come home soon. And Christian loves you and can't wait to spit up on you. So, so yes, your grandson will be spitting up on you, and I will be enjoying every moment of it.
That's awesome.
Yes, but I love you, Dad. Sweet dreams. Consider yourself a good kid. You're my world, and when Christian pees on you, too, I'm a laugh. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, but Christian loves hearing your voice. I love it when you call when he's around so we can just laugh, and I can tell you what he's been doing. He's been crawling more, and he's eating solid foods. He's going to be a year, December 30th, which is crazy, Dad. I remember just telling you I was pregnant, but I love you. So, good night, Dad. I love you. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Ashley. You have a great weekend.
You too. Thank y'all. God bless.
And now we have Caitlin.
Thank you.
This is a shout out for Beto Garza and Polonsky. Hey Boo, how are you? I hope that you're in good health and spirits, and that there's a smile on your handsome face. As for me, well, I'm okay-ish. I'm here with Daytona, not doing much today. I am going to go to Buddy tomorrow, and I really need to do some grocery shopping. Yeah, so that is about it for me. I'll be writing you an email in a bit, and yeah, and I'm sending you big hugs and kisses. So, good night, sweet dreams, and stay safe. And to everybody at the prison show, a big, big thank you for making this happen.
And now we have Captain Tom.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Doing great.
Okay. Dani?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing fine. David, how are you doing?
busy as a one-armed paper hanger.
Okay, well, you could get your other arm back by, bringing me back in there. I'll be more than happy to help you.
It'll come back with some physical therapy.
Okay, I'll do
Did you know
that.
that I got a splint on my arm?
You know what?
I got a splint on my arm. I was hanging some wallpaper and had an accident. Been one-handed for I don't know how long now.
What did you do?
It was like, I don't know, August 7th.
Were you on a ladder?
About a 3-foot ladder. Javier said I should have been on a 6-foot ladder. That probably would have been all right then.
I definitely agree with Javier. So. All right. Anyway, before I get started, I'm glad to hear that the weather has changed a little bit and cool things down. I hope it cool things down in the prisons for everybody. And this lockdown is still going on for the next 2 weeks, from what I understand. I've been doing some research on that, and I've also been, checking on the guys down there in Roshan. So at the I forget the unit up over there. Anyway, I've been checking down there on all the incarcerated veterans, and I'm glad to hear everybody is okay. Let's go with Arkansas, Juju, Leroy, John Armstrong, J.B. Anderson, Clarence Lee Bowman, Pete Sines, George Del Rosa, George Johnson, John R. Green, Stephen Young, Terrence Carmichael, John Wayne, Mike Dean, Robert Brown, Terry Lee Lewis, Samuel V. Harris, Robert Harris, Jacob Howard, Peter Torres, Thomas Mitchell, Bob Dunn, Roger Jackson, Bobby Barbara, Charles McCabe, Willie Russell, Mitchell Shelby, Ryan Morris, Patrick Lidneck, Ricky Nunn, Bobby Joe Harper, and Carlton Lewis. And also, you can still donate to KPFT by going to kpft.org and call 713-526-5738, push option number 1, or text the word GIVE to 713-526-5738. And also call into the prison show by calling 713-526-5738 and push option number 2. And now back to the prison show with David, Dani, Linda, and Javier.
Good night. Kenneth.
On line 4.
Hello, this is Mysterious Mike Lewis doing the shout-outs.
Hello?
Yeah. Hi, Kenneth. How are you? Go ahead with your shout-out.
Okay, hi. First of all, I hope y'all are doing well there at KPFT. It's been a long time since I've called in, but I was a long-time listener while I was inside. Quick backstory, I did 2 decades in prison. I got out in the spring of 2015, and I'm not calling for a specific individual. If it's all right, I'd like to speak to the masses, whoever's listening tonight. This is a bit of encouragement for everybody. I know everybody inside hears the lies, the rumors, the fears, and I know about those because I had plenty of them, heard plenty of them, and probably propagated enough fears of my own to kill a horse. But once I got out, got on my feet, got a good support system going, and started looking, things started getting better. I found out things were not as bad as they seemed, or as we heard. And I especially want to say to all sex offenders out there, it ain't the end of the world for you. That big red X is not a big red target necessarily. Of course, that's always going to depend on where you live and some counties are harsher than others. But for the most part in this state of Texas, this state is probably the most welcoming for sex offenders to come back into society. You're not going to get out. You're not going to jump into the deep end and start swimming right away. My suggestion is get a job where you can get a job, even if it's making $10 an hour. Restaurants, fast food places are the best places to start building your resume. Work through there for 2 or 3 years. Then go to a hiring agency, temp agency. They know where you can work, or you can tell them where you can and cannot work. They will help you find a place. Those places, if you do a good job, they will hire you on permanent, and then you go up from there. When I got out, my first job was $8 an hour, lasted 3 months. My next job, my first real job, was a restaurant making $10 an hour. I worked there for almost 3 years. Got a job with through a temp agency with a major production company. Left there at $21 an hour, and I'm working with another major corporation production company making $28 an hour. So the jobs are out there, and that big red X is not the end of the world. Just wanted to let you all know that. Just when you get out, walk straight, get your support group, be cool with your parole officer. That makes a big difference. And if you've got to attend any of those classes, attend them and be open and fair in there. Give them the same shake that they're trying to give you. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say to everybody.
Well, Kenneth, we appreciate the feedback that you're giving the men and women in prison. They can always use some feedback. We can too, because we're out here. Right. The family and friends can use that feedback too.
Absolutely. And one other thing, at least here in Tarrant County, there's at least one major place that offers assistance for people both on parole and probation. And even if they're off parole, they will continue to help. And it's I knew the name until I was fixing to say it. It is...
Well,
oh, shit. I can't remember the name of it. If I can give y'all a call back sometime, I will give y'all the name of it.
Well, that would be excellent, and we would appreciate it very much. That way we can pass that information along. The more knowledge we can pass on, the better.
Sure.
We appreciate it, Kenneth. Thank you very much. You keep calling back.
Y'all have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay, and we have Edward on line 6.
Hello?
Hi, Edward. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How do I compete with that, by the way? God, I can't
he
compete.
Was excellent, wasn't he?
Yes.
Last couple of people y'all had were just on point. I'm not going to lie. Woo, that's a heavy plate to fill right there. You can't compete with that.
Yes, you can. Go ahead. Try to compete with it. Come on.
Let's do it. Guys, my shout-out is to the KPFT crew, the people in the prison show, Mr. Ray Hill, rest in peace. I don't know anybody in prison, but I just, shout out to everyone that's out there, their families, their kids, everyone out there supporting them behind the scenes, and especially the people. You know how I feel about this, but I know one day we are going to end the death penalty in Texas, and I know it. It's just a matter of time, and I know it's not going to be today. It's not going to be tomorrow, but eventually, like those companies, they're all going to quit selling lethal chemicals and products to us, and we're done. We're just going to have to be done with it, and we're going to open up our eyes and say, you know what? We're not in the killing business no more in Texas. We are done. And I know
that's what we're striving for, Edward. And when we have people like you who come on out and support us, support this station, we love you. We love you.
And I'd like to come on down. You'll have to let me know when I can, if it's possible. If I can come on down for one evening from San Antonio, come down and visit y'all or volunteer out there with the PTF crew. The prison show crew, if y'all don't mind. Sometime I'd love to see y'all again. I really would. And
Absolutely.
I know it's not fun seeing y'all at the death house, but I'm also glad I see y'all there because we're not the only people out there. You know, we're a family out there. Well,
Right. Well, maybe one Friday when Miss Gloria is on, you can come on down. You can come on down.
Absolutely. And I just want to say I do believe in miracles because the Cowboys won 40-0 last week. So I do believe in miracles and I do believe things happen. And so I am going to say that. So I believe since the Cowboys were able to win 40-0 last week, miracles do happen. So I do believe we will end the death penalty one day in Texas. So you got to keep your heads up.
Yeah, keep your heads up.
That's what's up. Y'all have a great night. Have a great weekend. I'll keep listening. Y'all keep talking, all right?
All right. Thank you, Edward.
All right, good night, y'all. Peace.
Good night. It's not. All right. Now it's on. Go ahead.
Is it?
It's on.
Oh, wow. Okay. Back on the prison show. Back on the prison show. Look, I'd like to announce some recent updates from around the country, right? One of the last callers mentioned abolishing the death penalty, I believe, or fighting the death penalty, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody's not an abolitionist, but more of us should join the fight. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
To completely get rid of it. And so we've got this extremely, extremely violent sentence and execution on hand for Anthony Sanchez in Oklahoma, and it's violent because they're denying the truth. It's obviously a gross violation of due process and of mitigation of the Sixth Amendment, and we just received some great news. A partner of my organization, Death Penalty Action, out of Ohio. That Anthony's case, and I'm pulling up the email. Anthony's case just took a turn for the better. In Oklahoma, a judge just ordered that 40 boxes of evidence that Federal District Judge Joe Heaton in Oklahoma had refused to allow to Anthony's new legal team to access. And so a judge ordered that this evidence be released. And so this is a lot of stuff that was covered up, like the information surrounding his father and his father's confession. And we keep running into this in Oklahoma, you know. I know that's our staunch rival in football, but it's also a staunch competitor in mass incarceration. And in Anthony's case, but also Julius Jones's case, bring for Richard Glossop's case, call for a renewed interest in death penalty involvement. And I'm putting a charge to you all that around the world that listen to us. You should be against state-sponsored killings. And I suggest it. Maybe I can't do that on air, but I do suggest it, because if you knew that we had over 200 exonerations since 1987, if you knew that some of these guys and gals that have been released have changed their lives for the absolute better. If you knew Glenn Simmons, who just got out in Oklahoma after 48 years, if you talked to him and you heard about the faith that it took, the perseverance that it takes to suffer a wrongful conviction, you'd understand why Miss Dani and Miss Linda continue their movement and their actions. They're not just solicitous at all. They're sacrificing much of their spirit and much of their heart to be a helping hand. We've got guys that are innocent. We've got guys that are guilty, and guess what? They've sat in that rat hole and taught themselves how to read and taught themselves other languages and taught themselves how to communicate. We're going to go back to some callers, but I definitely wanted to amplify that Anthony Sanchez has got a favorable outcome this week in a death row case, a death penalty case. We've got Patty on line 1. Patty, can you hear us?
Yes.
Thanks for
Yes,
calling.
I can.
Go ahead, Patty.
Thank you for having us. This shout out is for Humberto Garza at the Polinsky unit. Hey, mijo. Hope you're doing okay. And yes, to the other caller, we did win. The Cowboys won. We're going to win again this Sunday, too. Thank you. And, mijito, I just want to let you know that I went to the doctor. I'm feeling a lot better. I also went to the heart doctor. And I will get a procedure done on the 26th. But your mom will let you know more when you call. Just wanted to let you know that I'm okay. I'm better. So, to all the guys, keep your head up, guys. Mijito, I miss you. I love you. And good night. Go Cowboys.
Good night. Have a good weekend. Okay, we have Mike.
Hello, this is Mysterious Mike Lewis doing the shout-outs for the prison show. I would like to do the shout-outs for the guys at Texas, Jamie Cuppett, Stephen Russell, Guy Alexander, Stephen McGee. Shout-out to Haas. Shout-out to Matt. Shout-out to Haas, Matt. Also another shout-out to Ed Ruiz, Adam Wilkerson. And Lucy and Paul want me to do a shout-out to Paul. Lucy and Michelle want me to do a shout out for Paul. Damn it.
What happened?
I don't know. Javier, what did you do? It's like I did nothing. Well, we're going to skip on over to Miss Shirley. Hey, Miss Shirley on line 5.
Hey, how are y'all doing?
We're doing spiffy. How are you?
Well, that's good. I'm all right. I'm just calling to get Blaine a shout. Blaine, I love and miss you very much. We all do, but I'm about the only one in here that's going to be able to talk because Sherry's barely walking. Babies are giving her trouble. I've been helping with the baby. I can't do with the other one. But they all said to tell you hi and that they loved you very much. She said she loves you. And Dani and Amy and Teresa and Cody and everybody says they love you. So all y'all back there to keep your head up, hold your head up, He has the whole world in his hands. I love and miss you very much. Sending you kisses your way and hugs. So you keep your head up and pray as we do. And thank y'all and bless y'all too.
Thank you, Miss Shirley. Have a great weekend.
You're welcome. You too.
All right. Jamie on line 2.
Hello.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi. I want to do a shout out to my son, Joseph Salazar on Boyd unit, and my husband, Gucci, on Ella's unit. I love and miss y'all. Can't wait for y'all to be home. Keep your heads up. We're going through this storm, the lockdown situation. Still praying for all of y'all during this lockdown situation. But yes, I got your letter signed today. I was happy to hear from you. I haven't heard from you in a little while. But, yes, and I need your mother-in-law's phone number so I can call and leave a message for you since you don't have a tablet right now. But I love you, son. Okay, and babe, roses are red, violets are blue. I'm not good at being happy without you. That's our point. I love you.
That's cute.
And,
That is cute.
Thank you. And you got me wanting a shirt like you now, Save Not Soft shirt that Ollie has done for you. I like it after you told me what it meant. But yes, I got that letter today saying what it meant. And now I want one too. So Ollie's going to have to make me a shirt too. And my favorite Christian song right now is That's What Jesus Does by Sharon, McKinney. And also I did love my song, I Give Myself Away. So, yep, some of my Christian songs right now. And what else? And I'm with that other caller too. I hope and pray that they end the death penalty thing as well. And how about them Cowboys though? Yep, I'm a ride and die fan. Dallas Cowboys to that last. I think was she the last caller? The lady. Like Dallas Cowboys.
There's so many of them. I don't.
Yeah, that was just you. But yes, I'm with y'all. Dallas Cowboy fan, yes. And of course, we have all them haters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm always a ride and die fan. I don't never switch up. That's my team right there. And yep, that's mine and my husband's team, right, babe? Yep, I know it. He's he's with me all the way on them. Texas Longhorns too. I'm from Austin, but yes. And what else? Did you want to say something, Ollie?
Good night, Goosey. Good night, brother. Love you.
Okay. And I can't wait for you to take me on that big green tractor for a ride, babe. That song, that country song, Big Green Tractor. Yes, that's our song. And I can't wait for you to pick me off the ground, off my feet, when we get our contact visits after this program you're in. I'm proud of you for everything that you're doing to get out from there. Doing good over 2.5 years now, thanks to our Lord. I love you, and son, I'm happy that you're staying out of trouble as well, and I know you want to come home, so I'm happy for you and proud of you, too, for not getting in no trouble, because I remember last time you were getting in a lot of trouble. You didn't even care if you came home, but I'm proud of you, son, and we are here waiting for you to come home, so we're waiting for you. I love y'all, and good night. Sweet dreams, babe. Sweet dreams of us. I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Good night. Good night, Joseph. I love you, son. Oh, thank y'all. Y'all have a nice night.
You too. All right. Go to line 5, Nadine. Hi, Nadine.
Hello, girls. Hello. I send my love to all KPFT, first of all. And then I would like to send a shout out to my husband, Eugene Broxton. Are you online? Are you hearing in the Texas death row? Livingston. Sending much love to all my friends in the death row there. I don't forget about you, trust me. I will do my best to answer your letters. Now I want to send my love and prayers to Jedidia and Bella Murphy. I love you. I love you. So, my boo, I just want to let you know that our friend is back at home, and you will hear from her soon. All went really, really good. Just strong when I have to say bye yesterday. That's the worst part of this so nice visit. I would like to thank you also for the beautiful present to our 10 years wedding. It was just emotional. I love you, boo, and I miss you like crazy. Trust me. I would like to mention something now. I will be really quick. Today, to defend the wife from overseas, we have no right to phone calls. When before Securus, it was possible. Probably you don't care Securus, but we have our loved ones there. So, is this normal? Well, that's a question. I thank you so much, KPFT, to let me the chance to send a beautiful message of love to all my friends in the Polonsky, and I love you, Boo Boo. I love you, girls. Thank you. Thank you, David. Thank you, everyone.
We
Bye-bye.
love you, Nadine.
Yes.
We love you.
And I can't wait till you get here in November.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Unfortunately, we have a full version now. Y'all, hurry up.
Hello, this is Mysterious Mike Lewis doing the shout-outs for the prison shows. I'd like to do shout-outs to the guys in Texas, Guy Alexander, Jamie Cuppett, Stephen Russell, Stephen McGee. Shout-out to Philip Perez. Lucy and Michelle want me to do a shout-out for Paul. Shout-out for Philip Perez. Shout-out for Philip in Dallas. Jovan, Matt, Thomas, Edward Reeves, Adam Wilkerson. Shout-out for Hoss. And Tasha wants me to do a shout-out for David. Shout-out to some more Stephen McGee, Bill R. Sims. Special shout-out to Clarence Lee Bowman. Hope everybody's doing well. And back to the prison show, and have a nice day.
Have a nice day. All right, Michael on line 3. Hi, Michael.
Hey, Miss Dani. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Hope you're all moved in and getting settled into your new place.
I am. I've already gotten, I think, 3 citations.
Oh, dear.
I'm already making waves. I'm like, oh, hell no.
Wait, is the citations from you calling the firefighters out for no reason, or?
Maybe. No, it's not for that. No, it's not. But now that you're on the line, let me mention one more time the podcast Cousins by Blood.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Name
Thank you very
dropping,
much.
name dropping.
Please do. It covers the Ivan Cantu story, and there's also a Patreon out there for additional bonus content. Matt Duff does a great job with it, so thank you very much for the shout out. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it's an excellent podcast. But I digress. Go on with your shout out. I'm sorry.
Sorry. No. Hey, it's great to chat. So calling for Ivan Cantu on Death Watch at Polinsky. From your whole team, we've got your back. We're all thankful for the wonderful friendship. We want you to keep your faith, keep your sense of humor. You've got a great future, and we hope you see the light at the end of the tunnel, because it is there. And again, we've got your back, and just keep your head up. And yes, everyone go listen to the podcast, Cousins by Blood. Also, last week I mentioned the Azteca Farmers Market for the Lowrider event tomorrow. I will be there around 5 p.m. with Lisa Bratt Martinez, talking about Pablo Velez Jr.'s case as well as Ivan Cantu's case. So come out and see us if you're in Houston.
Thank you, Michael. I just may do that.
Yes.
All
Please
right.
Please do. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you. You have a great weekend.
Same to you. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Now we have Lucky. Hi, Lucky. Lucky. Lucky, are you there?
Is there anyone on line 6? Hi, Lucky. Are you there? Did you upset them? Who was it? You upset them.
Yeah, I told Javier a joke about Lucky, and now evidently Lucky don't want to hear it. I can't tell that joke on the air, so I'll tell you later.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's put her on hold, and let's scooch on over to line 1, Elizabeth.
Hi, y'all. Thanks for doing this. I've been listening for years. Shout out is for Samuel on the holiday unit last I heard. Of course, no communication right now. It's for Samuel, Reynolds, Alex, and Pookie. Squishies on all y'all's heads. Pookie, be a good bear. And Alex, thank you. Thank you for staying strong and doing what you can to come home for me. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Oh, date your letters. And the debit on Securus is funded. All 3 accounts are funded. So call, text, I don't know, something. I love y'all.
All right, Elizabeth, anything else?
No, ma'am, that's it. Thank you.
All right.
I'm about to start crying, so I hadn't heard from him. You know, he got transferred in between the fire and the lockdown before we could establish any kind of communication, so I really hadn't heard from him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, call back every week.
Okay. And also, he's only getting his messaging, so, darling, you know I'm writing those letters stuffed in the 9x12 envelope, so you'll be dragging an encyclopedia of letters around behind you. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Have a great weekend. Okay, now we have Lydia on line 2.
Hi there, Dani. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. I got dropped, but I called back.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I wanted to wish you, Dani, happy. I hear that it's your birthday next week.
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And my shout out is for my son, Beto. And no, mijo, I didn't make it over to Tia Rosa's. I was tired. And I didn't go over there to visit, but I will certainly see her in the morning, have coffee with her tomorrow morning, God willing. We are supposedly going to get rain tomorrow. I doubt we'll get any tonight, but they said it was going to be super humid tomorrow, mijo. Very humid with a little bit of rain we'll get. We are so dry. I mean, it's just very dry here. Amanda was putting the kids to sleep, and I wasn't able to get a hold of Tia early, and I heard Tia Patty, and she was rooting for the Cowboys. I don't watch football, so I don't really root for any of the but I'll talk to you tomorrow, mijo, God willing. And I want to say hello to the guys, to Jedediah, to William, Big Lou, Rudy, Juan, Eric, Blaine, Artie, Moises, Roderick, and Ivan. And know that you are thought of and in our prayers. And we send strong hugs your way. Okay? And that's all, guys, for tonight. Fixing to hit the sack. I love you, mijo. Get some rest. Good night, Dani. Good night, guys.
Good night, Lydia. Have a great weekend, and thank you for the birthday wishes.
Bye.
All right. Go ahead, Linda.
Savannah, you're on the air.
Hey, y'all. Hey, this is Savannah. How's everybody doing this evening?
Doing good. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing all right. I'm recovering right now. I had too much fun on my cruise, but I want to call in and say hello to my son, Ernest, on Pulaski Unit. Say hello to Beatty. Say hello to Terrence Lewis over our Memorial Unit. And to remind all the guys and women that received their surveys in the Tiffin newsletter to please return them because I'm still collecting the data from the newsletter. So, and I know Sharon was on, so she might have already said that, but
Well, she mentioned the surveys. I didn't know that y'all were still collecting the data. That is awesome. Awesome.
Well, we are, and I know sometimes we send the newsletters out, and it takes 3 to 4 weeks sometimes for the folks on the unit to receive them. So I'm trying to just get enough time to make sure we get as many as possible so that then we can review the information with everybody.
All right. Well, thank you, Savannah. I'm glad you're back and glad you went on a cruise. I need a vacation, too.
You so fancy, Savannah. It's good to hear you. Good to hear you. Safe travels. Our favorite
Thanks, y'all.
nurse.
Y'all have a good night.
You too. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, Linda, do you want to do your shout-outs?
Yes, I need to do a special shout-out for Eldridge Westbrook from Evan Lee's mom, Geraldette Griffin. She just wanted to have you a special hello, and she wanted you to know she got the autopsy results back today. She'll talk to you about that later. Okay, Bobby Woods Jr., Frank Gill, Stephen Russell, Tyrone Williams, Franklin Davis, Luke Myers, William F. Owens Sr., Paul DeVoe, James Calvert, Gary Green, Herschel Wheeler, Lucky Ward, Jaime Cole, Brian Davis, Samuel Solomon, John Green, Bill Sims, Justin Miranda, Stephen Curry, Joel White, Damon Wilson, Stephen Bachman, Sonny Wilson, Curtis Robertson, Brian Bolt, Roy E. Addix, Milton Gobert, Pete Russell, Samuel Montanez, Ray, Juan Mejia, Miller L., Sheldon Jones, Thomas Nix, Curtis Allen, Christopher Curtis, Curry Richardson, Roderick Harris, Michael Ferguson, Daniel Tellis, Nazario Vasquez, Gilbert Romero, a.k.a. Chief, Hector De Leon, Rudy Martinez, Joel Luna, Raul Chavez, and then Michael Moyer and Willie Torres and Troy Glover. And J.B. Van Story's the last one, so good night, guys.
Okay, and I'm going to do mine real quick. Big hello to Big Head. You know I got you, Big Head. All right, Roderick Harris, hey. Curtis, hey. Rue, Moy, Jeff, J. Van Story, Brett, Leroy, Larry, Joel, Paul DeVoe. I missed your call. I'm sorry. Actually, I think I hung up on you by mistake. Creeper. No, that was Creeper. I'm sorry. That was you. I apologize. T. Brian Bolt, Kevin Stewart, and of course, Rexalicious.
Oh.
I think there is a misconception about Rexalicious. A big misconception about Rexalicious. And again, you know, it's not often that we get a lot of letters. It's not often wait, before I want to say one thing. Before I say this, everyone knew I was moving. Y'all knew I was moving. Somebody did a change of address on me. Yes, to a post office box on Aldine Bender. They did it. Now, I've been knowing about it for quite some time because the post office contacted me with an ID number. Verification. And when, of course, I saw it, I was like, well, this ain't, no. Well, I went to the post office, and because it's messing with post office mail, it's a federal offense. Because I went to the post office, and they're like, someone's messing with your mail. Oh, my goodness. And anyway, so they're doing an investigation about it. So they had to do the whole bit about doing however they did it for me on purpose.
Right.
And so anyway, we all know who I think it is. But anyway, they opened up an investigation.
They'll find him.
They'll find him. And they told me at this Aldine Bender location that, yeah. Anyway, so wanted to get that cleared up, that it's being taken care of. But Troy Glover, having to deal with moving and all that other stuff, your mail, and stop looking at your phone. What was that guy's name? Because I didn't get his letter specifically. The one.
Glover?
No, I have his name.
Oh,
the
okay.
other one.
Oh,
Willie.
What the name was this? Willie Torres.
Willie Torres. You sent that letter to Linda, but you also included me in the letter, so it put a smile on my face. And so this week has been very hectic for me, dealing with the mail, dealing with moving. So I wanted to say thank you to both of you, and of course thank you to all my friends who I normally, interact with. So it's been.
And I want you guys to know, Dani asked me to help her move, and so I was okay. Now she moves from a 5-bedroom house into a 1-bedroom tiny apartment. She thinks she could put all 5 rooms in that one apartment. And it was tight. But we got it done. We got it organized, and it looks good.
I got my cleaning lady to come in, and my cleaning lady whipped it into shape, but it was.
Did you refold the towels?
She did.
Yeah, I thought
so. It's been one heck of a week, and I know David wants to interrupt, but he's itching too. But it has been, and so when you send us really happy mail and you put a smile on our face, we appreciate it so much.
Yes, we do.
And I know y'all have been going through a lot in there with the lockdowns, and we don't understand what y'all go through on a daily basis. And, some of these TikToks that, I watch from people who have been in prison, it shocks the hell out of me, really. I don't hear about that, from a scarecrow being set on fire inside. Have you heard about that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see, he knows about it. You're like, well.
People say, Chivas doesn't know. They'll say Chivas is a liar or not telling true information, but no, that's the wrong stuff, because I hear stuff from inmates all over the units. I'd like to shout out, some of my favorite brothers inside. Absolutely want to shout out Erica Shepard, Melissa Lucio, and all the rest of our women on death row. Want to lift their names up and their spirits. You always stay strong out there in Gatesville, on Mountain View Unit, and the rest of the women behind bars out there. Want to shout out my little brother D.A., my little brother Devin Anderson at the Michaels Unit. Want to shout out Darius Elam, coming on 40 years at the Darrington Unit. Want to shout out Ivan Cantu, Anibal Canales. Want to shout out all of my brothers on Polunsky who have wrote me. I had a terrible situation happen at my office, where I've lost a lot of documents, and so I would love for each of you who have written me and maybe not received a response to write me again and give me another shot. We had sent out some letters and received some back, and that's probably indicative of all this mail stuff going on. I don't want you to think that I don't care or I'm just on the radio for celebrity purposes. I care less about that. I want to communicate with you, so please write to me. We got a new address. That's 5703 Manor Road, Austin, Texas, 78723. Also want to shout out, some things have been interesting, with this new moon that just passed. I'm reconnecting with guys that I did county time with. Guys are hearing me on the prison show and more. Want to shout out my little brother Malik. In the county, we used to call him Smoke G. I think he's grown up quite a bit in TDCJ. Want to shout him out at the Clemens unit where he's trying hard to change his life. I want to shout out all the brothers I don't have time to name. I want to shout out all the sisters, all the moms, all the wives, all the grandmas, all the sons, all the daughters. We lift you up here as well. We know how important you are. We know how valued you are. Brothers and sisters, that's all on the inside. Start creating that plan and trust the process of that plan. And don't give up on your hopes. Don't give up on your desires. Again, I'm Chevis Watson, your in-mass incarceration reporter. We're about to end the show out, and we want to thank you for listening tonight. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but Nadine and Manuela and some others called from all over the world. So we want to thank you all for listening to the Prison Show. I'm happy to be here and happy to be here with the Death Row Angels of Texas, if you didn't know. I want to shout out our brothers in the back on the control room. We couldn't do it without you. Prison Show family. Until what? Next week?
Yeah, that's right. Until next week.
Yep, we'll be here. And we got a couple of minutes left over, and we're going to go out with our favorite singer, Charlie and the Regrets. And, there's a lot of things that are happening in the news, a lot of things going on down there at TDCJ. And I just keep thinking about Marta Glass. Guys, keep your heads up. Walk proud. Don't let it all get you down. I think Sharon said pretty much the same thing a while ago. We're out here for you. We're rooting for you. We're trying to advocate for you. You got a lot of advocates out here right now. We're all out here trying to make sure that you guys are safe and the TDCJ is doing what they're supposed to do. Now, we all that have done time know that they're never going to do exactly what they're supposed to, but at least they know that we're watching, and they're making some changes for the better or for the worse. I guess we'll all see. In the meantime, y'all stay tuned. Cnvrge will be on. Techno Radio, and we'll see you guys next week, and we appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you callers. You guys keep calling us. I know that kind of throws you for a loop whenever you get stuck in that loop, but that means the business is good. We've only got 6 lines, and if you stick to it and just keep pushing the 2 and keep pushing the 2, as soon as the line opens up, you'll get in. And in the meantime, we'll see you next week. And
have a great weekend.
Speak.